So I was at the park today for my daughter was invited to a birthday party. So all the local parents are out there. A lot of parents that I don't know, blah blah blah. But as I'm walking towards the park to bring my daughter to the birthday party, but who do I see once again? Mr. Ben Johnson, the legend, once again shaking hands and giving babies kisses, man. I just wanted to put it out there on America's Memorial Day weekend that we still have the fastest sprinter in the world. I don't care what
Oh
anybody says.
yes. Oh
And his
yes.
name is Ben motherfucking Johnson, and he's still kissing babies in the park. I must say, I already introduced myself to him before, so I just let him be. I didn't want to say nothing, but if I see him again, I'm gonna ask him to come on the pod. What do you boys think? Wouldn't
Yeah.
that would be
Come on
legendary,
now.
right?
Yeah. For sure. Like one
Yeah.
of my homies is related to Ben Johnson.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's
Uh,
make this work then.
but I don't
Yeah.
know like how much in contact they are. But yeah, like
Nah, he's
Ben
still
Johnson's
walking.
always been family.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. So there's a big salute to Ben Johnson, still kissing babies out here. You're an absolute legend, Ben Johnson. Welcome back, everybody. We took a little time off, but we're back. This is Sports Ethos Toronto Raptor Podcast, and I am Mr. El Hoopo. That right there, that's Max Profit. You better pay me. And that right there is a tired A.Rod. That's A-R-O-Z. He's tired as fuck. That one's good right there, wasn't it? So let's get into it real quick so you can get some sleep. You better pay me. What's going on, boys?
Chilling.
A-Rod, A-R-O-Z. He's tired. All right, let's get into it, boys. So, how was your weekend? First off, everybody have a good weekend?
Great weekend. Great weekend.
Minus that Boston win yesterday.
That was wild.
Okay, well, why don't we just do it then? Why don't we just get right into it, okay? So, let's get right into Hoopo's court right now. And, let's see how our predictions are doing, all right? So, let's start off with you, A-Rod. Let's see where you at.
Mavs over the Wolves
Okay.
in 6. All right.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
They're going to the finals.
Mavs to the finals,
Other
okay?
side, Knicks over Boston in 7.
What a series that
All
would
right.
be.
Knicks over Boston
Like,
in
whoa.
7.
Knicks
All right.
and Mavs final.
Yeah, Mavs and Knicks final. Mavs in 6. You heard it here first.
Okay, so where you at? How you sitting? And let me know how you feeling about this Boston, Indiana, Dallas Wolves
I'm
series.
missing New York, man, because
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this Pacers Celtics series sucks. Like, my God, man, it's not
Yeah.
a fun series to watch.
No.
I think Indiana gave away 2 games, but there's something missing with the vibe of the series. It just feels like it's an inevitable Boston win, and it just seems like because it's like that, the games don't really feel as like kind of tense as they should be.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Pacers, man, it was weird. Yesterday, Halliburton, the news came out that he wasn't going to play, right? And he's not going to play again for the whole series. So before anybody gets
The whole
Well,
series.
he's questionable.
Oh, yeah,
he's questionable for next game.
he's not,
but
he's not coming
no, I
back,
get it.
man. He popped his hamstring. He's not coming back.
Mhm.
Like, even if he comes back, this guy will pull it again within 5 minutes and he's done.
Yeah.
So let's just assume he's done. But Indiana without him, it's funny. He doesn't have the same impact on a team as like if the Lakers are missing Kobe or the Heat are missing Wade or the Knicks are missing Melo. It's not the same kind of player.
No.
Pacers could still play without him because they
Yeah.
don't rely on just one guy. But it would be better if he was there just to generate the offense a little bit better, and make it run a little bit more quicker.
Yeah.
But I was saying yesterday they could have won that game. They took it down to the wire. They blew what was it, 8-point lead in like 2 minutes at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, here, Boston, here's your free trip to the finals. And this has to be like the shittiest finals run I've seen from a team in a long time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's real
You
hard
know-
to give him any kind of credit.
No, it's like, I get it. You got to play whoever's in front of you. That's fine. But when we look back on this years from now, we're going to be like, they played Miami with no Jimmy.
Yeah.
They played, what was the next team they played?
You don't even know because it's just
I don't remember 'cause I don't even care.
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland played with no Mitchell for
Yeah.
half the series, right?
Yeah.
Maybe more than that. Then after, they play Pacers now with no Halliburton, and it's like, this is really fucking garbage, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know how else to describe it, man. It's just terrible. But hey,
I mean,
Mavs,
it's true. It's a lot like LeBron's run when he was dominating the East. He was running through absolutely nobody, going to the finals every year.
Yeah.
And when you think about how many times he went to the finals, no people yawn. Nobody even brings it up because everybody knows about that Eastern Conference thing, right? And it was dope for a good while. LeBron left and the East got good. We had Embiid, Giannis, everybody's doing. The Raptors won as soon as he left. But then this year, it's like back to them old LeBron beating up on the Raptors days, man. The East sucks.
Yeah. Well, let's check your picks, Max P, in Hoopo's court and see where you're sitting at. And both you guys.
The Illuminati will never let Kyrie win a championship. Come on. I'm going with let's see, Boston and Denver, and Denver winning it again.
Boston, Denver. Ooh, boy. Okay, first of all, the Illuminati may actually let this happen.
I've been seeing some strange stories floating around. Who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe they're on the attack, but it looks like Kyrie and Lucas got this on smash, bro.
Man, okay, get into it. So, I want A-Rod to speak on this afterwards, but let me know what he's seeing.
As a basketball predictor podcaster, I feel useless right now. I was like, bruh, whoever wins this Minnesota-Denver series, that's the finals right there, baby. That's it right there. And look, Minnesota's getting like small boy. That's the best word to say it. They're getting small boy. They got some talent, they got some explosiveness, but that game, I think it was the last game, yes. The whole Denver team was playing like Jason Kidd when he was back in New Jersey. The lobs they were throwing, it was like, whoa. It was like, whoa, you guys are finally playing like your coach. Jason Kidd has finally got a personality to this team. He got at least one big man on the court all the time. That's killing Minnesota. I mean, shout out to Jason Kidd. I'd never seen him coach in a way that made me say, hey, that's impressive. This is the first time I've ever seen him do that.
He's never coached. You know what I mean? Like, he's coaching. And he's, you know what I mean? And he's looking good. That's what I mean. Like, he figured it out. It took him a little time, and now he's figured it out.
When I seen that press conference when the Oakland came out of him, and he was like, I like that press conference, man. I liked how he was talking. I like that energy.
So you had you picked the Nuggets
Denver
to come out of the West
and Boston
and Celtics.
So I got
you're almost there.
My Celtics half is still going. Yawn,
which hurts. I can't.
Big yawn. A big shoulder shrug. Well,
with the possibility
why the Eastern Conference Series is so whack, though, right? It's Indiana and Boston ain't turned up, bro. Like, both of those cities is like diseased. Like that A-Rod's feeling right now. Both of those cities.
It's true. It's just vanilla ice cream. You know what I mean? That's it. There's nothing on it. There's no sprinkles.
Nothing.
It's just
nothing.
You know what I mean?
Not even a waffle cone. Not even a waffle cone. Just a bowl.
It's just in one of those little white bowls. Just nothing. Here's a scoop of vanilla ice cream party. You know what I mean? But A-Rod, you brought up such a good point because you talk about that there is a possibility that it's going to be the Mavs and Boston a final, right? So as at the gym, I think it was yesterday, A-Rod brought up such a good point. I'm like, he's like, yeah, imagine Kyrie going for the championship against Boston. I hope he stomps the logo. I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God, imagine.
Wow. I'm with that all day.
Spraying the incense all over the TD Square
That's
garden.
exactly what it is.
Hey, listen,
walking around with a dream catcher
2 times.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
My boy was saying the same thing, and then we had a little convo about how last time Kyrie was burning sage there, right?
Yeah, the sage.
Trying to cleanse out the garden, right? He's
cleanse it out.
He's like, he's gonna have to do it 2 times for those Boston fans, right?
You know what I'm saying? You gotta wash out all the crosses there.
I just hope Kyrie goes absolutely bonkers in the finals.
Bonkers.
Man. I can't stand Boston, and nothing would make me more happy to see him like just hit like a step back 3 to win the chip, and then just run right to center court and stomp the fuck out of that.
Yes. Oh
Just-
my God.
Ain't it?
That would be it.
The irony in Kyrie Irving saving the motherfucking NBA. The irony. The irony in this. It's amazing. But shout out to Luka though, man. This nigga is a monster, bro.
A monster.
He's a monster. What he did to Gobert was like when Jordan was dunking on Mutombo and giving him the finger wave. It was like it was like those eras, you know, when Robert Pack used to just jump up and kill a 7-footer, you know?
Robert Pack.
That's what that shot reminded me of, that era, before they started giving you technicals for all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, they give you technicals for being a man now. It's like, what? Like, what? Nah. Like, what happened, man? Yeah, no, so I'm hoping the same thing. I really hope Kyrie just saves, like you just said, that saves the motherfucking NBA. Goes in there unshaven and just crazy. Just good. He just goes in there with like his beard's just like not kept, you know what I mean? And he goes in there and he just says, fuck Boston, like you said, and goes and just starts shaking all that incense around the logo and just, man.
He's styling. He had the Indian moccasin sneakers on the other night. I was like,
beautiful.
Dude's out here styling and wilding.
Yeah, well, let's see if he can do it. I got one quick question, boys. Where is there anywhere in the city you know that because I asked this question before, and I'm gonna relate it back to something that happened this weekend, and my friend called me, and he unfortunately he broke up. You remember I told you the story about how he got the itch, and the itch went in threes. So for anybody that doesn't know, I have a friend, his name is Vinny, and Vinny was with one girl on a Friday, and then the next girl on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday they both were itchy, and he didn't know where the itch party started, right? So he's like, is it A, B, or is it C? He didn't know, so he just stuck with D, right? So what happened was, listen, boom, he calls me and he says, listen, there's stuff that's starting to pop up. I go, what do you mean pop up? He's like, pop up. I'm like, well, what do you mean pop up? He's like, pop up around my legs, like my inner legs. I go, oh, you mean like sores? He says, yeah, they're like itchy bombs, right? So he says this thing just starts to get a little itchy down here, right? So as he goes, I don't think it was me that started the itch. He goes, I think I got it from A, the first girl, because what happened is her itch is gone, and now I'm starting to get mine, and I've only been with her. So he's all confused, right? So I don't know if he should grab his Bible or he should go to the hospital. What do you guys think? Is he getting stigmata or is he getting an STD? Is there anywhere you think that maybe he can go speak to somebody about this? Not a therapist, but more of like somebody maybe who knows stuff about this. Like anywhere you know? Anywhere you can, maybe we can send him.
You know about that shot, man.
Man, first you need to dump both of them. Like find a whole new roster, my friend. Build a whole new roster. Like start
a whole new roster. Yeah.
Yes. New neighborhood, everything.
Get rid of these girls on these 2-way contracts.
Yeah, like bro. Go for a different type. You might have a healthier route, you know? And after that, Popeye supplements is the spot.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Popeye supplements. Yeah. So as you know, that means this is another episode of this, or...
Mommy, did you smell that?
What's that smell? It's Popeye's, bitch. All right. So let's get into it. Boys, like I told you earlier, so I was at a birthday party in the park today, right? A little barbecue, this and that for...
in the park.
Yeah, my daughter's friend, right? And I got into a little basketball chat with one of the dads. I don't know the dads. He started talking. I think he was a little younger than me, right? So he's like, small basketball talk. You know how that is. It's kind of like, oh, okay, feeling him out. Okay, yeah, you kind of, whatever. You don't really know what you're talking about, but you do. So it's like, all right, we can do this. Mm-hmm. So he's like, so who's your favorite player? I said, oh, okay, you're starting with that, huh? So I said, okay, Michael Jordan, easy, boom. And he's like, oh, I go, who's yours? And he goes, LeBron. I said, oh, really?
Oh wow,
LeBron's
I
your
had one of those. I had one of those conversations at the dispensary the other day.
oh yeah. So he's like,
Mm.
I go, LeBron's your favorite player, huh? He's like, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So I walked away. So but the thing is, so the thing is that that reminded me of a song, right? An old school '70s song that I grew up. As I told you, my mom and dad were in a band growing up, and one of the songs that they used to play, and that reminded me of a song that my parents used to play, is the Doobie Brothers. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Doobie Brothers.
Come on now,
Yeah, of course you have.
love
I
the
was just
Doobie
saying.
Brothers.
Oh man, so they have this song called "What a Fool Believes," and that just, what a fool believes. Like you believe that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan? Like, what have you been drinking? What drugs have you been taking on a Sunday afternoon at a 8-year-old's birthday party? But I wanted to give a big shout out to the Doobie Brothers, man. What a fool believes. This is the tune right here from San Jose, California, to your ears. They won 3 Grammys with this song. I don't know if you know that. That's big time,
That's
man.
cool.
Yeah. So, Doobie Brothers, man. Big shout out to these guys. We're a full believes. Let's get the chorus though. Where is it at? Right here, listen. Oof. Oof.
Oh yeah, that was a big one. That was a big one.
Monster tune, man.
Be in a lot of movies too.
Yeah, that's a big tune. So big shout out to the Doobie Brothers.
Man, y'all had Justin Timberlake in them, but we had Mr. McDonald over here, bro. He was putting in work.
Man.
Hall and Oates in them, and Phil Collins
yeah.
in them, and bro.
I remember Max
These
scooping
dudes
me
is
up one
different.
time at the subway. We were going to the studio, and he had Hall and Oates playing. Man, that's so slick. That was so
Oh,
slick.
shit. I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. So slick, man. So yeah, big shout out to the Doobie Brothers though, and what a fool believes, and what a fool believes is silly things like LeBron is a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. So let's stamp that once again and let that
Great
just,
song. Great
yeah,
song.
yeah. So I thought I'd compare the two. Let's get back to the Dallas Mavericks. I wanted to pose a question to you guys here with Luka and Kyrie as a duo right now. I was asked at the gym 2 days ago, where would I put these guys if they won a championship? So keep that in mind with this question. If these guys won the championship, where do you put these guys in the list of top duos, top ones and twos in the game all time? So we're talking Jordan, Scotty, you're talking a bunch of guys, right? So where do you put these guys? Like, is it legit? Is if they win, is this the real deal? Like, where do you place these guys? A.Rod, hit me.
I think right now it doesn't even matter about if they win or not. I think in the league actively, it's the best 1-2 combo in terms of isolation basketball. There's absolutely no way you can guard either of these guys one-on-one.
No. No.
It doesn't matter who you put on any of them, they will get cooked.
It's game over.
It's unreal. Like just watching these two guys together, work some magic, especially in the fourth quarter or clutch time.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The way I watch these guys is just, I think about it like this: if the Dallas Mavericks are within 3 to 5 points at the end of a game,
They got you where they want.
They've hung around for too
They'll
long.
win.
They have you.
Yeah, they got you. They got you.
There's no way you can stop any of these two guys when it matters. Because everybody's tired, and you are not stopping them. The Luka Gobert thing was just like, that was super easy for him to do. The amount of space he created on him was just nuts. I think the only guy who would have made it a little bit more difficult in a 1v1 situation, just out of length reasons, is Wemby.
Yeah.
Wemby's different. Wemby's different.
Yeah. Maybe he would have still shot over him. Maybe, he would have chose something else. I feel like Wemby would have at least made it a little bit more challenging for Luka. But Kyrie and Luka together, man, oof, that is just, it's nasty.
Scary,
Nasty
right?
combo.
And what's funny too is that I look back and I remember when they made the trade. Well, no, they made the trade, right? It wasn't a scoop.
It was last year.
Yeah, and I remember thinking, this is not going to be good for Luka. I was one of those guys. I'm like, I don't think this is. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work, and now these guys are like, they're vibing, and it's beautiful to see. And I was proven completely wrong. I was wrong, and I mean, if they win the championship, I'm looking at it like this is just a beautiful combo. These two, like you said, just a offensive juggernaut that will go down in history as just like unstoppable when you need it. You know what I mean? When, like you say, you're down 5, you're probably gonna lose. What do you think, Max? Like, where you at with your vibes with these two as a
They
duo?
remind me of it's not a perfect comparison, but they remind me
Mm.
of Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, I like that.
Interesting.
They were both smaller guys, but killers in their own way. Joe
I like that.
Dumars used to bang those threes and play that D.
He was
Um,
strong.
yeah, and he was super smart. He was like the smartest guy on the court, you know. And then
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas was like, the typical basketball superstar, just undersized, you know.
Yeah.
And those two guys were a monster. Like when I first started watching basketball, they were winning championships and beating up on Mike.
With a
And that
smile too.
was yeah, that was the blueprint for ball for me. And these guys kind of got that vibe where it's like when it comes to like like Red Auerbach, like Phil
Mm.
Jackson, these kind of
Mm.
coaches love these players because they're perfect, right? They can play ball,
Yeah. Yeah.
no gimmicks, no shortcuts. These guys can ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolute winners too. They're killers,
Hmm.
just absolute
Yeah.
killers, and they're not afraid. They're not, and that's the thing. They have zero fear of that shot, zero fear of just going for it, and you
And
just
it's a
gotta
great
respect that.
it's a great combination. You got down south, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
you just they're not into your business like it was in Brooklyn and everybody's trying to dig up some dirt and trying to
yeah.
cause some
Yeah.
controvery. Down south folks are different.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie can breathe down there. Luca can breathe down there, right? You got the coach. The coach is Jason Kidd. Both he's a guard. He knows what they're going through. He
Yeah,
definitely had his struggles.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you got Mark
yeah,
Cuban. He's a coach that's like he's an owner that's you know that wants to stick it to the man. He's
yeah.
not afraid of controversy. You know what
And
I mean?
genuinely loves the game.
Yeah,
Genuinely wants to see them
yeah.
win and them to be happy. Being down in Dallas.
So it's
Yeah,
it's it's a like when you look at it, it's just individual pieces that don't really fit. But
yeah,
man, like the when it all comes together, like the sum of its parts is how that go. The total is more than the sum of its parts, or something like that.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm just personally, I agree with both of you. I couldn't answer the question when I was asked like where do I put them. Like I can't do that. I don't know where that goes. But I will say that I'm just happy that it's working because I didn't think it was gonna work, and the fact that it's working is beautiful because it just shows what basketball can do. It can bring two guys together like this. And you know when you grew up playing and there'd be that guy on your team, you outside of basketball, you probably would have never been friends with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then in the on the court, you guys are like so
Cool. Yep.
tight, and then you
Yep.
end up
Yep.
really cool outside of the court,
Yes,
right?
sir.
I
Yes,
feel like
sir.
that's these two
Yes, sir.
out beforehand. They probably would have
Mm-hmm.
never been too cool, and I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what would have happened. They both ego wise, who knows? But then boom, like and I still have friends from that time, like we probably would have never been cool, but basketball made you cool. So I love that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's good to see, and I hope they get it now. With the Hoopo's court and the Hoopo's picks, I now hope deep down it's in here. I hoped Minnesota could still do it. Who knows? I saw a guy at Loblaws today wearing an Ant-Man jersey. I looked at him. I'm
Hey,
like, we could still do it, but
let's go.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. If it's not the case, I want Dallas. I want Dallas just to destroy the Celtics.
One thing I just heard about Ant-Man actually the other day, or the other game rather, was at halftime he had to get some oxygen.
And
Oof.
during the third quarter too.
Yeah, and
One
that
of
to
the
me
one of
is
the
extremely concerning,
Yeah.
considering you are a 22-year-old kid.
That is scary.
Uh,
Wow.
if you're that gassed, man, I mean, not only are you putting way too much effort into trying to get buckets to the point where you just, you're coming up short all the time, and
Yeah.
you're also being forced to play extreme amounts of defense at the same time. And that's
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah,
man.
like the youngin's not doing it right. Like he's got to look at Kawhi and Mike and Scotty and all of the players that on his level that played defense, even Kobe, they did not guard the best player the whole game,
The whole
youngin.
game,
They
no.
picked their spots and said, "All right, move out the way. I got him." Right?
Yeah.
Like that's how they did it. You can't just say, "Okay, I got this guy the whole game, every game." It don't work like that, youngin.
Well, you both said it too. Is
Hmm.
that they needed to get that pain. They need to feel that pain before they can move
Hmm.
on to that
Yeah,
next
he's still
level. And
learning. He's still learning.
yeah, and he's still learning. He's still very young. Would you say he's 22?
Yeah,
22.
Yeah, like come on, he's still just a young kid.
But I mean,
so
if you need
that's
oxygen,
scary.
man, that means you're guarding Kyrie way too hard in the beginning.
That's what he's saying. Right?
And then you
got
gotta
to
go right to Luca, or you go to somebody else after that. It's tiring,
Yeah, and Kyrie knows what he's doing. It's not an accident. Kyrie stays moving on some marathon man shit, right? You
Yeah,
know, to I see this guy huffing and puffing.
with a smile.
Mhm.
Which is you gotta love Kyrie. Kyrie's made a lot of new fans this playoffs. I bet you. I bet you. Speaking of fans, I wanted to jump here just quickly, just because I don't usually do this, but I have to give a big shout out to his name is Edward Buckles Jr. He's from New Orleans, and I fell upon his documentary the other day. It's called Katrina Babies, and it's on HBO. It came out in 2022, but I just saw it just a few days ago. And this documentary, I'm a big documentary guy, but this documentary hit me very, very, very hard. It basically, the premise of the documentary is that it's asking the kids, how are you? How did Katrina affect you? And he is one of those kids who survived Katrina. He was just a kid when it hit. His family was dispersed all over the country, Dallas, Atlanta, all over the place, right? And so he went back and asked the kids who survived, how are you doing now? How did this affect you? And just some of the stories just absolutely broke my heart. Like I was shook watching it, and it was really, really tough to watch, but that's what good films do. And I really wanted to give a shout out. And anybody who hasn't seen it, I would really highly suggest you watch this, because it gives a point of view of it from the child's perspective, through the child's eyes of how Katrina affected them and what happened to New Orleans. Because we all love New Orleans. New Orleans is just, I don't know what it is, but ever since I was a kid, I've had a thing for New Orleans. I just love that city. And so, from me to you, please go and watch this documentary, and reach out to Edward Buckles Jr., it was his first film, and he just did it, and he killed it. And big shout out to you, Edward Buckles, and big shout out to that documentary. I'd say it's the best one I've watched in a long time, man. So big documentary, big documentary. Which then brings us to this. Let's stay in New Orleans for a moment, and I wanted to just say that there was one. Yeah, there was one tune in the middle of the documentary that just it had me start to bounce, right? All right, so just get ready, get DJ Jubilee. And he was, I don't know if anybody has heard of Jubilee. He is the king of bounce from New Orleans, and bounce music
I heard of Jubilee.
Oh, yeah.
That's the OG for the Cash Money producer.
Yeah, this
Manny
guy,
Fresh.
right?
That's Manny Fresh's OG.
That's it right there. And he basically made back that ass out. He actually sued them, and it was an unsuccessful goal, but because he made back that ass up first. And,
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
I knew he was his OG. I didn't know he was like that. Like
No.
blueprint. I didn't know he blueprinted the guy.
Blueprint. This is the king of bounce right here. It's from St. Thomas Projects, 10th Ward. Yeah, man, king of bounce. And this is the original bounce music right here. And just take it in for a second, just to take that in. Like, impossible. I played this the other day out of the Forerunner, and just even my son in the back, he was going like this. But big shout out to New Orleans again, but DJ Jubilee, get ready.
Oh man, shout out to the late 90s, early 2000s, bro. That's what we was listening to.
Oh,
that was the vibe. It was crunk, it was an old sound, it was,
man, that bounce.
Timberland, everything was bounce.
Bounce. And but he's the originator right there. They gave him the crown, the king of bounce right there. And like I said, he tried to sue Cash Money for that ass.
I did not know about that suing part. Wow. But yeah, his name rings bells. I hear about Jubilee a lot when people talk about how they got introduced to hip hop from New Orleans rappers. They always mention Jubilee.
Let's back that thing up. So this was the original. So
Uh-huh.
I would have sued him too. I would have sued him too.
Nice try, but good lawyer will get off. But it was close. I mean, shoot, I hear it, brother.
You hear, yeah, you can hear it. Especially if you're the godfather of it all. But yeah, big shout out DJ Jubilee. I'm still playing your music to this day. And last shout out right here. The news came down I think it was yesterday actually, or the day before that. I don't know if you know Morgan Spurlock. He is the man.
Hey.
Yeah, he did Super Size Me.
Super Size Me. Great documentary.
He just passed away.
No way.
Yeah, yesterday at 53 years old due
Damn.
to implications of cancer, which I had no idea, man. 53 years old, this guy. What, you guys have any?
Yeah.
You remember when that came out?
Yeah,
of course.
The thing is, I thought, okay, could it be like his lifestyle or whatever, with food? That was my first inclination because I didn't know him at all besides the movie, right?
Yeah.
And then based on the Twitter comments, I saw that a lot of people said he was a raging alcoholic.
Really?
So I didn't know that, but apparently, that was his thing, and that would have definitely contributed to whatever else he had going on, right? So,
well, rest in peace, Morgan Spurlock. If that's not the truth, though, because Twitter can say something.
But this was like a bunch of people saying that. It wasn't just like one account. It was just a bunch of people were saying he was known for that. I didn't do any digging or whatever, right?
Yeah. But he died of cancer, though. Right?
So,
cancer kills everybody regardless. Yeah. It kills alcoholics. It kills nuns. It kills priests. It kills us all, baby.
Yeah,
it kills us all.
I just felt bad because, man, it sucks. Like, he was, it was one of the first documentaries I can remember in my teen years where I was like, oh, shit, this is crazy, like, we learn something new every day, right?
It started a whole wave of documentaries that actually investigate how our food is made and grown and what it does to us and all that stuff. I mean, nowadays you try and talk about that stuff to kick you off of Twitter or YouTube, but it started that type of, hey, what's really going on here type of thing,
Yeah, he was huge for me. I was 20. It came out, I believe, 2005. I was 25 years old. I always thought I was going to make the NBA in high school before college.
Hey, we all had them hoop dreams, baby.
I was in great shape going into college at 160 something pounds, tall, skinny.
Oh, you had hoop dreams going into college?
Oh yeah. And then it all ended in college, and I started partying. I started smoking, and I came out of college 260 pounds. Big Poe. That was Big Poe. Big. And I swear, that's why rest in peace, Morgan Spurlock. When I watched that movie, I was like, you know what? I'm going for a run.
Yeah.
And literally, he opened my eyes.
Yes,
he opened my eyes up with that documentary, Super Size Me, that specific one. And you just touched on it, too, that he sparked other documentaries. It was
so many. And many copied his blueprint and just went in different directions. Like, that dude is a very, very influential cat.
Forks Over Knives was the next one, but those two, Super Size Me, man. So Morgan Spurlock, I want to personally, I know you're gone, rest in peace, but I want, if you're listening, man, thank you, because you really did change my life. I went for that run because I was like, oh my god, this is not good. So thank you. Yeah.
A lot of fast food motherfuckers don't like this dude, bro.
The funny thing is, one of the things I always remember from that doc was that he was talking about how his sexual relationship with his wife changed quite a bit during that time, like while he was eating all that McDonald's, right? He was saying how he couldn't get an erection and like he wasn't really feeling that good in the bed and stuff like that. And that was one of the first times I remember as a younger man, like I heard that, and I was like, it opened my eyes to that concept that men struggle with that in those relationships, right? Because you never really heard about that except for like TV ads of like, oh, here's Viagra or whatever, right? But that was one of like the first real stories that you heard.
When fully admittingly saying, I can't get this shit up.
I mean, a lot of people did not know how much your gut controls so many aspects of your life, right? And him with the erection, a lot of people wouldn't make the connection. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and it's this crazy connection when it comes to how you're not eating right. But
his part where his depression kicked in. Remember when he was like,
"I just feel depressed." There's another one. Who would have made that connection, right?
2005, man. No one was talking about that shit. So Morgan Spurlock, rest in peace, man. You touched a lot of people. You affected a lot of people, and it sucks that it has to be when someone passes away that you're like, but there's just a lot
Then you give
going
them your
on.
flowers. Here, your flowers, by the
Yeah,
way.
I know. Yeah, thanks, man. Which is brutal, but there's a lot of people and a lot of people that affected a lot of people. So it's like, how are you supposed to, juggle that? But rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, Morgan Spurlock. And lastly, no, let's just go around the NBA now. So that was another episode of This or
That.
Brought to you by some Popeyes ass shit. You know what I mean? All right, so let's go around the NBA for a moment. I have one thing I wanted to bring up to you guys that caught my eye. It seemed to be that the Raptors were watching Bronny James the other day shoot around at his blah, 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 and they seemed to be scouting. Now, do you think that this is this? I read something, I'm like, is this the biggest troll ever by Masai? That if he were to draft Bronny, like, troll on LeBron. What do you boys think?
I watch car crashes. Don't mean I want to be involved. Just because we watching this cat, don't mean we want to be involved. That's what I got to say. What's up, A.Rod?
This shit is just ludicrous at this point, man. And we ain't talking rap because, my God, man, like I never seen a second rounder like this get this much. Not even he's not even a second rounder. He's possibly and more than likely not even drafted, right?
No.
And we're giving this guy like crazy amounts of attention. I get it. You're talking about one of the greatest of all time sons.
Yeah.
So it's like a big thing that he's going to make the league. But at the same time, like, as a listener, I mean, just hear me out on this. Name me one 3-and-D specialist that is 6'1" and under.
And no left hand.
Forget even no left hand. Name me one successful 6'1" 3-and-D specialist.
No.
He's taller than that, bro.
Like, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah,
and then you're telling me, okay, 6'1", so this guy's gonna have to play point guard in the league.
Is he really 6'1"?
Yeah.
He's like
6'2" with
taller
shoes.
than him, man. I'm
like,
6'2" and a bit.
If that's what you're
even Mario Ellie was a little bit of a footer, you know.
Like, what was Bruce Bowen? 6'4", 5"?
Bruce Bowen is a way better player.
No, but I'm saying like he was 3-and-D original. Raja Bell.
Yeah,
even. Raja Bell, you know.
Homeboy
Barbosa.
But Barbosa was a point guard though.
Homeboy with the podcast.
JJ Redick.
That had the beef with Kobe, and then they got on the same team. Matt Barnes.
Oh, Matt Barnes.
Yeah, he's
still taller. He's
like
taller.
6.
Tall.
6,
oh,
7?
homeboy with the sneakers that the Raptors drafted. Stands in the corner, shoots the threes all the time.
Sneakers.
He plays for what team is he on now? Milwaukee. He bounces around. Homeboy always standing in the corner. All he does is shoot the corner three. That's all he does.
I'm lost today.
Yeah, I'm lost today too on that.
But I'm just, okay, why are we spending so much time on this guy? Like, the odds of him being successful in this league are less than 10%.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe even less than that, man. Like, it's just.
Well, think about the other cats trying to get in. Think about them cats trying to get in.
You know, people like to shit on what's his name, Greek Freak's brother, Thanasis, all the time, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, this guy has no bag, and, he's garbage, and this night he's only on the team because of his brother and whatever. But you don't hear none of this shit on Bronny. You know what I'm saying?
That's that power of LeBron's politics.
And then Rich Paul yesterday was like, oh, it's not because of nepotism. And then he went into this weird argument about how America is founded on nepotism. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, I don't know what you're saying, man. Go hang out with Adele, man.
Rich Paul is a campaign manager. You can't listen to a word he got to say, bro.
Like, this is okay. Listen, at best, right now with his skill set, we're not talking about what he's going to be like when he's polished. At best, right now, he's basically a Value Village version of Davion Mitchell.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's not to be mean. I'm just saying it is what it is. Like, he's not polished. He has not even played, a ton of minutes at USC. No. And then Woj, like, everybody's on Woj's dick all the time. But the Woj comment that really pissed me off the other day was, he goes, He goes, "Oh, it's for the G League financial impact." Listen, this guy could not sell out USC arenas, and USC seats 14,000. The average attendance was like 6K with this guy there. What makes you think people are gonna go and pay to watch a G League team with him on?
Yeah, no.
This is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, no. I think people are just lost in the sauce of it all. They're just lost in the whole just name thing.
If anything, the brother that's going to succeed is going to be the younger one because he's taller and he's got a crazy skill
one with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? But I just think that they better not, like you said, Max. I don't want any part of that. I don't want that. I don't want him anywhere close to the Raptors. Not Bronny, LeBron. Because you take Bronny, LeBron has got something to do with the Raptors. I don't want him anywhere past the border, man. Just keep him down there. I don't need him. I don't want any part of that, man. I really don't.
And PJ Tucker was that motherfucking player I was trying to find his name.
Oh, PJ
Tucker.
Oh, he's
yeah,
like
but PJ was tough though.
6'5", maybe.
He could be super tough, hit the threes from the corner, and wear a bunch of LeBrons, and kind of play that role.
Yeah, I liked PJ. I wanted him to stay. We spoke on him before. I really wanted him to stay here, man.
Well, we drafted him, and then he got bounced out the league, and then we brought him back. And then we brought him back, and then he found his way. Yeah. He stayed,
Yeah.
Shout out to PJ, though. He's got some of the best sneakers I've seen.
Oh, for sure.
His biggest collection in the league, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure. People try to down on him because he has connections and money, but it's the taste. You still got to have taste. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's it. All right. Was there anything else that caught your attention around the NBA that besides LeBron's son?
These women, man. These women in the WNBA. Jesus Christ, man.
Hey.
They are out for blood,
Talk
man.
about it.
I don't know if you've seen that Alyssa Thomas, Angel
Shout out
Reese
to Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. Who's that?
Oh, God. Listen, man,
She's a superstar.
That foul yesterday, I was like, Jesus, man. These women are like, the older guard, they're pissed with those young ones, man.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't see that a lot in the NBA, right? Usually the older guys are like, oh, this guy's an up-and-comer or whatever. But
when Jordan was in the league, he went through that, though.
But that's old. Old NBA. Maybe this is their version of old WNBA, but
I think
because she is the Jordan. She is the Jordan.
She is the Jordan.
She is the one.
These old women, they're getting pissy, man. But fucking Alyssa Thomas just took Angel Reese and just took her by the neck and threw her on the floor. I was like, God damn, man.
Angel Reese was on the cover. Angel Reese was on the cover of Vogue, I think, the day before she got drafted. So they hating on her heavy, like these girls are winning. And these older ladies were getting zero attention. Yeah. So the contrast must be insane, bro.
Yeah.
Because
speaking of women's basketball,
but that's not an excuse to hate, though, ladies. Calm down.
Calm down a little bit. Yeah, I brought my daughter out to shoot around, and because she's been doing after school, and they've been doing basketball there, right? And I taught her from the jump a proper shooting stance, like when she came out of the womb, pretty much.
Elbow tuck.
All of that, right? And let's see the follow through everything. Feet set. Let me see it. Shooting stance.
Oh, the feet.
With the part.
All right.
Let me
she's
see
already
the foot.
there, Poe.
Just
she's already there.
Yeah, she's right here. I want that toe. Just a little bit above your left. Okay, let me see it. Okay, she's got it, right? She's just straight up and down. Reggie Miller shit, right? So I'm like, I haven't seen her. We haven't gone out to like shoot around or anything. Like she's 7 years old, right? So I took her around to shoot around at the net just up the street. And, broke my heart, guys. Like, I have to bring it up on the pod. She's so smooth. She's got a feel for the game that you just can't teach. Do you know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. Like she brought one of her friends, and God bless her, she just didn't have a feel for the game. There's a lot of work to do. My daughter, though, she's just like dribbling with her left, dribbling with her right. Her head's up. I'm like, she's dribbling with her fingers, not her palms. You know what I mean? She's feeling the ball. She's not slapping the ball, And then when she shoots, she could take one dribble and shoot on the 8-foot rim, like, okay, hold on a second, right? She's got her elbow in. I'm like, shooting stance. Boom, she looks down at her feet. First thing she does, she looked down at her feet. And then she bends her knees, and it's one motion. I was like, oh, my God, she might do this. like this is crazy. So shout out to my daughter, man. Like it just, I haven't wait until she makes her team and she's playing. Like I won't even be able to, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I don't know. It's just gonna be tears. It's just gonna be tears.
Let's go. Shout out to my nephew Johnny. 30 points a game. Let's go, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it just amazing seeing the young ones just like grow up in front of you, man? Anyways, all right, boys. Oh, let's end it at this. Actually, one last thing. Fuck Ben Simmons. So that's what I gotta say for. So on that note, later, boys. This was another episode of the Sports Ethos Toronto Raptor Podcast, and we are your hosts. I'm Mr. L. Hoopo, and that right there is Max Profit. You better pay me. And Mr. A.R.O.Z. Go get your sleep, A.Rod, and we will see you next week. Until the end of the playoffs, it looks like we're going to be doing this once a week, so catch us on Sundays, my friends, until the end of the finals. And we are going to be coming on a draft-specific episode with a special host through the Sports Ethos soon, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that, and we will let you know the exact specific dates for that. Everybody, please enjoy your week, and to our American friends, enjoy your Memorial Day long weekend day off tomorrow. I work for an American company, so I get tomorrow off. So you best believe that's a good day for me.